Hey everybody, welcome to
Sockeytome.
Hey everybody, it's Detto. Welcome back to Sockeytome, where we connect people to people, and you can either do it yourself or hire a pro. I'm here with Keebler.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Here we are today, ready to talk about doing it yourself or hiring a pro.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, we're gonna have some stories here.
Oh, we got a lot of stories, and this is right up my alley.
This is right up, like you said, not to repeat your alley, but this is your expertise.
This is what I do.
This is what you do for a living.
Wait till you hear what I have to say.
Oh boy,
Oh man, it's gonna be good.
you're gonna open up some eyes.
Oh yeah. So I guess real quick, give me an engaging story about any DIY project that has gone wrong for you.
Oh, okay. I got two actually.
Oh boy,
First one's not that bad,
you didn't learn your lesson.
but I didn't learn my lesson. I tried something again after this. But the first one was I decided I was going to insulate my own attic. So I got myself a bunch of insulation, went up in the attic and started laying it out. So my brother-in-law comes over, who is a heating and air conditioning guy, and he's like, "Oh, what you been doing all day?"
Before you finish the story,
Okay.
let me have a guess.
Yep.
All right.
So I said, "I've been insulating my attic." He goes, "Oh, let me take a look." I go up there. Him and I go up into the attic, and he's like, "Hey, dumbass, you put it in upside down." I had the whole attic with the wrong side facing up, which I had no idea.
Yeah.
So, and it took me that's my first story. It didn't really cost me anything but time.
In that right there, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You did it wrong, yes.
I did it wrong.
But generally, there isn't any backing in the attics anyway.
Oh, okay.
So it didn't really matter.
It didn't, but of course I ripped it all out and reset it down and did it. It took me, so instead of a 2-hour job, it took me like 4.5, 5 hours. Second story, and for all you people at home, pay attention here because this one's not good.
Oh boy.
Decided we're going to redo my basement and had a, sheetrock ceiling. So instead of taking a hammer and ripping it down, I decided to take a Sawzall, stick the Sawzall up there. I'm on my ladder. Of course, I didn't turn off the electricity, cut through a wire and got zapped and blew myself about literally 5 to 10 feet back off on my ass.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that out of freight? Because normally, what line did you hit?
I don't know what I hit, to tell you the truth, but I did have to get an electrician, and it got me good enough where it just jolted me backwards.
All right. Then it wasn't a 110.
No, it wasn't a 110.
You must have hit the 220.
I probably hit the big one. Yeah. And so there was an elf flying backwards. And you could see me
It's like you've fallen out of the treehouse.
yeah. Yeah.
Which, did you build that yourself? Is that where it was?
I called the guy for that, but that's a true story. Make sure you turn off the electricity before you try to do something like that.
Or that's why you call.
That's why you call a guy. Now I do have an electrician.
So you're going to take the lead on this episode, kind of.
Okay.
Only because I'm going to just retort with what I know and what has happened and all that stuff.
All right.
So, I mean, otherwise it's just going to sound like I'm kind of bragging about myself, which I'm doing anyway, but
Yeah. Well, you are the prophet.
when you're a prophet, it just comes out like that. I literally don't think I'm better than anybody. I just am.
Right. You just are. You're good at what you do.
Well, I try to be. It's up for debate.
You are a good all around righteous dude.
So you've done some research on all this.
I've done a little bit of research. Yeah. I know that the industry makes a lot of money.
Hang on one second. I'm
Okay.
going to start us off, and then we'll go with you.
Okay, you got it.
What is the difference between doing it yourself and hiring a pro?
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Well, to me, I think it's if you know exactly what you're doing, you can save money. You know what I mean?
That's up for debate, but go ahead.
But if you want things like for me, if I want them done right one time, I'm more apt to call a guy. I don't mind spending the money, But if you have decent guys, I mean, don't just go with your first guy you call either. I'd say shop around,
Oh, you have to.
and make sure they're well established,
Yep.
like they have a good reputation in town or wherever you're at or in the state.
Where do you go to find that?
I don't know.
Not a Home Depot, but the closest lumber yard to you.
Yep.
Go there and ask them.
Really?
Yes.
So they
Always.
would have a list of people on
Oh, absolutely.
all kind of different like electrician, plumbers, stuff like that. Contractors,
Basically.
painters.
But they'll have,
I mean,
they'll at least have a list of general contractors
that come
who
in.
already have those people anyway.
Gotcha.
So, and they'll give you 3 of them at minimum. You can ask for 10, they'll give you 10 of them.
Really?
But they will give you 3 of them at least that are really good where you live.
Right.
They already know that. And no one knows to go to their local lumberyard to find that out.
That's awesome. I never knew that. I say, learn something new every day.
Rule number 2.
Okay.
Never take the lowest bid. Ever.
I have to totally agree with you on that. I've done that a few times, and you get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
And a little piece of advice. I personally price every job high.
Okay.
So I never have to go back and ask the people for more money.
Okay.
So
that's why you
I go
priced
back,
my bathroom for the price you did.
Right.
Awesome.
That way.
And I did most of the work.
Yeah. All of the work. I just sat there and told you what to do.
No, that's not true, but I did most of the demo.
Yeah.
But you told me what to do, and yeah, it worked out.
If I were to
was
price
good.
a job for 10 grand,
Yep.
I'm assuming it's going to take 7.
Oh, okay.
That includes me, materials, and everything. And I have a 3 grand cushion
Right.
in case something comes up.
Right. There you go.
And then at the end, I can be like, listen, it came out cheaper than I thought it was going to.
You did that for my mother. I don't know if you remember, on her roof.
Always.
You priced it, and I'm just going to throw a number out there. I think it was because she has a small ranch. I think you priced her for like $6,000, and it cost like $4,500. And you told her, and she was happier than pigs and shit.
That's how it works. And then you get repeat customers after that.
Exactly.
Because you did the right thing. So that's why you don't take the cheapest quote.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're probably better off taking the highest one. Because that would most likely be mine.
Right.
Right? Because I'm not trying to get that job. I'm trying to, if I get it, it's worth it for everybody. It'll be even more worth it at the end because I will have saved you money. And we'll probably come in at what the lowest price was.
Oh, no kidding.
But I'm covering myself and you.
That's a great way to do business.
That's how you're supposed to do business.
Never realized that.
Yeah. So
well, there's a lot of, so you're saying I'm going to try to put this nicely. There's a lot of crooks out there.
No, it's not that they're crooks. They're starving.
Oh.
So they're pricing it low to get the job.
And
but
then,
they didn't actually think it through.
Gotcha.
And that's why you don't take the lowest one. That guy is pricing the job to get it.
Okay.
And that's where you're going to have problems. And that's why you hear about all those contractors that are so horrible.
Right.
Like I had a nightmare experience. You took the lowest price. That's what you did.
Exactly.
And you're giving us a bad name now.
Wow. Yep. I get it.
Go to your lumberyard. Ask for who's the best.
Okay.
Take the highest one. Literally take the highest one. Because that's the best one you're going to get.
Okay.
Because that guy doesn't need the work. Which means he's good.
Gotcha.
Do you understand what I mean?
Oh, I hear you.
So, and basically you get what you pay for.
I've only got a high school education, but I'm understanding this.
Yep. And step number 3, don't believe what you see on TV because they're lying to you.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's like court.
Yeah.
Court does not go like it does.
There
like
are a ton of shows now. I mean, it's boomed. But I remember going back, and you and I talked before the show started about what was like one of the first shows we remember, and it was This Old House.
Those guys were good.
Which those guys I thought were very good.
They were good. They were honest, and until Bob Vila left and tried to become Bob Vila.
Right.
They were honest. They told you, hey, we're in month 6 of this project.
Right.
Now these new ones are like, oh, day 48. Yeah. Screw you. You have 480 people doing this, which you don't show on TV.
Right. Is that what happens?
Yes.
Okay.
You've already done this for the people that you already had pre-selected.
Yeah, we were talking about this, and I started naming off some shows, and you were like, nope, garbage. Nope, they stink. Yeah, they're not good. Oh, that was a good one. I mean,
Chip and Joanna were good.
Yeah.
But they got out of it.
Right.
Because they realized how bad it was.
I didn't realize that's why they got out of it.
Mm-hmm. People were buying their houses, trying to get on their show.
Yep.
Knowing that if they could, the house would be done and be worth like 4 times more than it was just because Chip and Joanna did it.
Right.
Which is good for them, but Chip and Joanna are like, we don't want this attached to us.
Oh, right.
Like, these people are just buying our houses to sell them next year.
Making buku dollars off of them.
They were literally trying to do things for people.
See, I didn't realize that, and that kind of makes sense. And it's, I mean, I don't know if they have any like no sell clauses or whatever, but I mean, you know what I mean?
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
No,
gotcha.
It didn't matter. You can have a will. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It's like,
I mean, so like besides that, I mean, some of the newer ones are kind of like off the wall. Like you said, they do these houses in like 3 months, 2 months, and I didn't realize they had that many people there.
Oh, you have
and
to.
They only show you like 3 or 4 guys. You know?
That is another thing that puts a bad connotation on contractors.
Right.
People think it's supposed to take 2 months, and no, it's not how it works.
No,
That's so false.
Right.
And they're like, well, why isn't it done yet? I was like, because it takes 6 to 8 months for this project.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I told you that up front.
Exactly.
And you think it's 2 months, and why isn't it done? How come we're not here?
Well, that's you told me straight up on my bathroom. It's going to be like 2 months. And it was basically 6-7 weeks, you know?
Yeah. Because
but we got caught.
You've got to line all those people up.
Well, you have to line them up, but we got caught in with COVID as well.
Yeah.
So
I was like,
supplies were like slow.
A bathroom does not generally take 7 weeks.
Right.
That was long, but there were a lot of factors in it.
There was a lot of factors.
And that's the part. Like, there's so many outstanding variables that you can't really prepare for that will delay progress.
Right.
It's not like I don't want my money.
So
It's not like I'm here for no reason.
Right,
I just want to string you along.
yeah.
It's because there's stuff I can't do.
So being a contractor yourself, is there anything that you don't do on your own that you call a guy?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I don't have the electricals. I don't do any of the mechanicals myself.
Okay.
I sub those out to people that have the proper licenses for that. I'm a
There you
general
go.
contractor.
Right.
So I'm like Home Depot, basically. You hire me, I've got everything I need.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
You don't have to hire anybody else. I'll take care of it.
yeah.
I take care of all of it.
Well, that's how you rolled with, and you actually, the plumber that you used, I still use him today, Mirando.
And that's how they get business.
Right. And the guys that you did with the tile, those guys were awesome.
They're hard to get.
Are they really?
I'm glad I have them, but they're hard to get for me too.
Really?
Yes.
They're that busy?
They are absolutely fantastic.
Well, they're fantastic. You're right.
The Donahues.
The Donahue brothers.
Yep. If you get a chance and you're in the area, call the Donahues.
You're in central Connecticut? Yep.
But yeah, they are awesome. And Mirando as a plumber is awesome.
Oh, he's very good.
And I use Tommy Bussett for electrical.
That's my guy.
Jerry Aldirai is also
That's
awesome.
another one of my guys.
Yep.
Yep.
So there's a lot of
They're
good people.
they're a little bit older now, so they do certain work for certain people.
Yep.
But those are 2 very good electricians.
Absolutely. And so I have my own team
Right.
that I already set up. And that's what you're paying me for. So you don't have to do that.
Right.
Otherwise,
Okay. I get it. That's
and you're not even really paying the DIY hire a pro debate about what's better. Doing it yourself does not save you any money. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
And it ends up
It could
most of
cost
the time
you more.
costing you more.
Right. Right.
You have to figure in your own time. So let's
Right.
just say for
Well,
S's and G's, my hourly rate is $50. Right?
Okay. Yep.
What's yours worth to do it yourself?
Oh,
You could be out there making money at your job
at my job. Instead, I'm taking the day off.
to do this.
Right.
Where it might take you 8 hours. It'll take me 2
exactly
because I already know how to do it and what I'm doing.
Right.
So your 8 hours is now $400, and I only charge you $100.
Then if I do something wrong, like
Now it costs you even more.
cut the wires or put in the insulation upside down or whatever I'm doing wrong.
90% of the time, the materials are going to be the materials.
Right.
That's what it's going to cost you.
Yep.
That's what it's going to cost me. There's no change in that. So now it's your time versus my time is what is the factor.
Right.
The last variable is like, you take 8 hours, I take 2.
Well, here's another thing that I used to do. I used to do this on my own a lot was oil changes for your car.
Mm-hmm.
But then I found, yeah, you could save a lot of money there because I think the price has gone up quite a bit for oil changes. But there's nowhere to get rid of the oil. That's the problem I had.
There is.
There is a place.
Yeah, I can get rid of it.
Oh,
Get rid of it for you.
Man, you do everything.
I do, and that's why you hire me. That's how.
That's how it works.
Yes. Detto for hire.
Just call Detto.
The profit.
I love it.
There are mechanics that run their shops.
Yep.
The furnaces burn that oil.
Gotcha. Yep.
So you take it to, that's why that's not why they do it, but that's part of their perk for doing it.
Right. Because they have a place to get rid of.
They can just dump it in the furnace and go.
Yeah.
In the tank.
Did never realize that.
Yep.
But yeah, I used to get rid of it when my dad was around because he worked in a machine shop. So he had access to the oil bins at his shop and got rid of it. So it was a lot easier to do oil changes back then,
Yeah. There's still places to get rid of it.
I didn't realize. Huh.
Yeah, there is. But you have to pay for that too. So
well,
at
that's an extra cost.
yes.
Yeah.
Now at this point, I mean, what do you think these places do when they can't burn all of it in their furnace?
Right.
They got to get
They
rid
got to
of
get
it.
rid of. Yeah, you're right.
That's why. And then they just refine it and sell it back to you.
Gotcha.
It's a racket. They clean it, refine it.
There's money to be made out there. So one thing I do a lot on my own, and I know you. I don't know if it's your company or not. Assembly.com.
Some assembly.
Some assembly.
Yep.
I do put a lot of my furniture together.
Mm-hmm.
But I know you can also pay for that, which would save that's a lot of headaches. And I mean, I've stripped a lot of shit like screws and whatever. I mean, because you're just not used to working with a drill, which you are, or professionals are.
Yep.
And then you got to go back to the store, get more stuff. It's like, caramba. Then you got to hear Mrs. Keebler, hear your wife. Somebody's like, sorry, Mrs. Keebler.
She gonna be mad at you.
Crap. I always get myself in trouble.
We all do. We're not smart people. Men.
No.
We're dumb.
Pretty much. But anyway, so here's another thing that I have a hard time with. You ever watch Property Brothers?
Yeah.
And you see, there's a lady's profession is like a dog manager, and her budget's like $725,000 for her remodel. And then you think about it, what the hell have I done wrong with my life?
Yeah.
You got a dog manager here with that much money to spend, and it's like, what am I doing wrong?
That's the one part a lot of people don't take into account.
Yeah.
They're like, it's the budgets on those shows are so much higher
Is it
than what you've got.
I'm trying to think, because like that one, is it because they're in like better areas? Like I know a couple of those shows are like in California where the money's higher, or Toronto. I know one of them's based in Toronto. I think that's Love It or List It, maybe, with the houses when they sell. And
It does have a lot to do with where you are. That's
Okay.
why Chip and Joanna, the houses are like $110,000.
yeah,
That's not like that here.
well, no, that's like Aaron and Ben Napier from Hometown. They're down in Alabama or Mississippi.
We're giving a lot of shout outs to shows I don't like.
All right, let's give a new shout out then. All right, we got a new heating and air conditioning company, HVAC, Southington, Connecticut, called True Comfort. Give them a holler if you need anything done, with your furnace, air conditioning, anything.
They're fantastic.
Fantastic. True Comfort.
Eric. Look for Eric.
Yep. Just call and ask for Eric.
Yep. And they are up and coming.
Yep. Just started a couple weeks ago.
So
And
right now they're looking for business,
They are.
right? So if you call them now, you're going to get a solid price
Absolutely.
because they want to build a customer base.
Absolutely.
So give them a shout. If I had the number, I'd tell you.
I wish I did too. I don't have it offhand, but
I'm sure there's a website.
Yep.
And I will see if I can put it up on our website too.
that'd be
So
great.
You can go to Sockeytome.com and look it up. I'll get it up there as soon as I can. True Comfort, Southington. Look them up. Give them some business. Same with Some Assembly, for crying out loud.
Yeah. What about Some Assembly? I know that guy. That guy's awesome.
He's our sponsor.
That guy's hungry.
So, quick reference also into making a decision about the DIY.
Yeah.
If it has to include major plumbing, major electrical,
Yep.
or a permit, just call somebody.
Just call somebody, especially
call
with a permit. Absolutely.
Call somebody.
I know you saved my ass back at my new house here. I was thinking about having somebody come put a deck on, and you're like, Keebler, you can't do it here because you have septic that's too close. And I didn't know the guidelines, and you straightened that out for me, which was awesome. So what I did was a patio, and you gave me a guy for that.
Yep.
And it was awesome.
That's why I have the red cape upstairs in my closet.
With the S on it?
Yep. Whenever I have to save a problem.
Love it.
T-Bot. We went over it. I used to work for her brother.
Oh, okay.
You know how many times I had to pull T-Bot out of the fire?
No kidding. She's in the other room too.
She's probably getting pissed right now.
Ears are burning.
But yeah. And that's it. That's why a professional is so valuable.
Right.
And that's what you're paying for. So you don't run into mistakes like that. But you can get professionals that are not professional.
Well, true.
And those guys are on Angie's list. And,
Really?
And yes. Or if you get a Home Depot lead, Home Depot tells you who to hire.
Yep.
Be careful. The only thing I recommend Home Depot for is carpet.
Oh, they're good at carpet.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
I don't know why. I've always had good luck with Home Depot.
Well, I
and
know
carpets.
and now that you mentioned this, it's funny because it's bringing another story back with Mrs. Keebler when we first started dating. That house she had up in Torrington, which you did the roof for.
Yep.
She had a plumbing problem. She had a willow tree in the front, and it was clogging up the drain and stuff. She had a guy come out, and she wanted to get a couple quotes. And this guy gave her a price, but he says, I can give you $1,500 off. She was like hemming and hawing. So he says, I can give you $1,500 off if you go with me right now. And she kind of pushing her. And if you know my wife, you don't push her.
No.
You know?
Yes. No, you don't.
And then come to find out, she didn't go with the guy because the guy was pissing her off. And she checked with the Better Business Bureau. And the guy was like blacklisted. He was it was like, no, don't do anything with this plumber because he just sucks.
Yeah.
You know?
And
and her intuition was spot on, which is good.
It's like even Anderson. They have the Anderson renewal.
Yes.
I don't know if it's good or bad, but those are I'm only using that as an example.
Yep.
And I'm not saying anything bad about them.
Okay.
But salesmen like that, those are the ones you don't want to hire.
Right.
I don't know if Anderson is good or bad at their renewal stuff, but when they go to the house, they're looking for basically an older person, an elderly person.
I'm going to tell you another story. Yeah.
Who is worried about their roof or their windows or their siding. And they're going to tell them stories about how this is. I went and did a roof for a guy.
Yep.
He was elderly. In fact, he just passed away. So,
R.I.P.
Condolences. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy, he's like, I just got a price for $18,000.
Wow.
I was like, seriously? $18,000?
Yep.
You have a raised ranch.
Yep. Wow.
18 grand
For a roof?
I did it for about $5,500. He was happier than a pig in squat.
Absolutely. The story I got is the one you did for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. She got a quote. It's like $13,000, and they're like, "Oh, if you can go right now, put this much amount down." And I can't remember the company, and I would say their name on the air because it was just, I would.
Put good things out there, not bad things.
Okay. But anyway, long story short, she didn't go with them, and you did it $7,000, $8,000 cheaper, and great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. But yes, that's what they do. They kind of prey on the elderly, and they want you to sign it right there.
Right.
Because you don't know how much longer your roof is going to last.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody stops and thinks for a minute. Wait a minute, it's been there for 20 years.
But what is the life expectancy for a roof? 20 to 25, roughly?
They say 25 to 30 years
25,
is when
30?
every time you should redo it.
Gotcha.
Right? And so I don't know if that's necessarily true because I've gone in and done roofs that were 50 years old.
Really?
Yes. So it's like, it depends upon the batch of shingles you get.
Yep.
With,
and what, like
the weather.
The weather. Yeah. Everything.
And I've gone on roofs where there's nails exposed and it's not leaking.
Really?
I'm like, damn. At that point, you don't want to chance it.
No, exactly.
It's not necessarily a dire emergency because it's not leaking. Right?
Gotcha.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
But if you want to, here's what's it going to cost.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You don't have to sign with me today. Just remember I came here and said, if it's not leaking, what are you worried about?
Right. That's definitely a red flag. Somebody that's pushing you and pushing you and pushing you to go with the deal right now,
The other thing with roofing companies, nobody gets on the roof. Nobody goes, check.
No, you did.
I do.
You go. Not only did you go in the roof,
don't.
No, I don't.
That's what I mean.
But you went on the roof and in the attic.
Correct.
Check both sides.
Yep. Make sure there isn't, in fact, anything leaking because otherwise it's going to cost more.
Absolutely.
Because I got to fix sheetrock and insulation.
You can't see the plywood from outside.
Correct.
I mean, you can feel it if it's spongy,
And then
but you can see it more on the inside.
Yeah, and they will come in
discoloration or whatever's going on in there,
And they will come in there and tell you that you're going to need plywood replaced.
Right.
You're not going to go.
Well, a lot of these companies don't do that though, so you got to be careful.
No, they tell you you're going to need it.
Right.
They figure it in there, and then they don't have to change anything.
Right.
So you paid for something you never got.
Exactly. Crazy.
It's the way they work, which I think is scummy.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
And there's a lot of points in time in this business where you can just charge almost whatever you want.
Yep.
But at that point in time, it's like, how greedy do you want to be? What's fair to everybody?
Right.
I can make a couple extra bucks. Cool. What do I need? If I made it an extra $1,000 on a major project, great. I didn't rip them off.
Yep.
I made a couple extra bucks that I didn't think I was going to make, and everyone is happy.
Everybody's happy. That's the way it goes.
That's business. Because it's fair.
Fair is good.
Yes.
I agree.
Dude, we are way over.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. I wouldn't kid you.
God.
You look too silly to be kidding around with.
I'm in my new gear.
I know.
Wait, you'll see it on video.
Oh, yeah.
We got some new Sockeytome gear.
I got my Don't Stare at the Sun, I'm Hot shirt on.
Love it.
Anyway, everybody, thanks for joining in. Thanks for listening. And remember, you can YouTube anything. Doesn't mean you can do it. You can see it on YouTube. Doesn't mean you can do it.
True.
But
anyway, listen to the professional here. Don't do like Keebler.
Hey, everybody can podcast.
Yeah, as long as you got the mics on.
Right. But we are at the end. So again, guys, thanks for listening. And as always, be good. Hey, everybody. It's Dedo. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Larry over at Legendary Graphics. He designed our logo for us. Came out fantastic. He does wraps. He does all kinds of customized stuff for you. If you get a chance, go to legendary.com. That's legendary.com. Check it out for anything you need. All right, guys. Thanks. Be good.
Sockeytome.
Hey, everybody. It's Dedo. Thanks for checking out the show today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe to us. We can hook up, interact. You can tell us what you like about the show. Talk about what you don't like about the show. Give us information and insight. We'd appreciate it. We only want to make the show better for you guys. Also, if you get a chance, head over to sumassembly.net. That's our sponsor, and he could really use some business. All right? As always, everybody, be good.
Sockeytome.